The mass deaths of over 85 people from the Tudun Biri bombing incident remains an unfolding tragedy in Kaduna State. From the fatalities and scores of people injured and undergoing treatment in hospital, to the Nigerian army accepting responsibility for its accidental nature, as they describe it, and apologizing for the tragedy, while the federal government and the Kaduna state government called for an investigation. That's our focus on Special Report.
The Nigerian army explained the circumstances which led to the unfortunate and unintended attack.
In spite of the recent unfortunate military drone attack at Tudun Biri village in Igabi local government area of Kaduna State that claimed the lives of over 85 people, the National Security Advisor and the Northern Senators Forum have passed a vote of confidence on the military and other security agencies for their untiring efforts and commitment to reduce the security challenges in the region.
That unfortunate incident of Sunday the 3rd of December 2023 is grave, it's regrettable, but we will do everything possible to prevent such an occurrence happening again in the conduct of our operations going forward. I've gone around to visit and interact with the members of the community. I've come again now to the hospital to see the injured, and this will help me to know the level of expertise that I need to put on the table in conducting the inquiry into what happened on Sunday, so that that inquiry can come up with relevant recommendations that will guide us in the conduct of our operations going forward. The community has been enjoined to view what happened as just a temporary setback. It was not intended. It's regrettable, it's unfortunate, and we'll work with the community to provide necessary support to the community as a whole and to the injured persons so that they can quickly regain their health.
The NSA, who made the commendation when he visited Tudun Biri village on a fact-finding mission, says the bombing incident will not be swept under the carpet, assuring that a holistic investigation will begin with a view to averting a recurrence.
It's a tragedy, it's a misfortune, but it has happened. What matters is how do we move forward? What are we going to learn from here? What exactly we need to do? Hopefully it will not happen again. And also to restore a little bit of normalcy in the lives of those who are victims. We are here with the governor and also the leadership of the National Assembly responsible for national security. We have done the assessment, we have spoken to them, we have had a very good interaction, and we are going back to Abuja. That certainly will be what will help us to move forward with decisions that will certainly make a difference going forward. What we have lived long with problems of insecurity. Some of them we've lived with it for 30 years. In some parts of Nigeria for 15 years. In the Northwest, you are talking about 5 years, 6 years. It's not something that you can solve overnight. Prolonged insecurity tends to really interrupt and change things. When you come, it will take you a while for you to move back and then take care and solve the problem and go back to normalcy. We have done a lot already. At the time when when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came in, as sworn in, simple thing, even for you to drive from Kaduna to Abuja was impossible. Now you can drive even at night. At the time when he came in, we used to have average of attacks, loss of lives in excess of 1,200 and something. Now it has come down to, because we take assessment, every single loss of life is documented, recorded. As a result of the insecurity you are talking about, and the banditry has gone down considerably, more than 90%. More than 600 people have been released, those who are in captivity for years, as a result of kidnappings. It is happening. And I can assure you it is going to continue. Most of the things that are ongoing are not things we talk about. It's a matter of time. Nigerians will see the result. But certainly across the country, we are improving.
He commended Governor Ubasani for his display of maturity and leadership in the way he has handled the unfortunate incident, particularly in providing relief materials and other logistics efforts for the victims.
It's all part of the process of addressing the problem. He made it already very clear that this is one that we have to learn lessons. This is one that will change the direction and the way we do our work. Wait and see. You will see difference. We all feel this. We are all in sorrow. We are all hurt. But we have to understand, this is our own country. This is something that we have to come together and work. We are with those people in this, in terms of the pain. And what matters is what can we do about it? We have a government that is very serious, very engaging, and is working day and night. We are some months all into this, our own administration. We fall for understanding. We fall for people to appreciate where we found ourselves.
He emphasized on how concerned Mr. President is about this unfortunate incident. And NSF also assured all of us here that the President is also very serious about this investigation he has called for. And of course, the NSA also made it clear to all of us that this thing will be done within a time frame. And I have no doubt in my mind, President Bola Tinubu is someone who is always serious whenever he made any statement. And this time around, from what is happening, it will never happen again because it has not happened in the past. This will be the last one, and he's going to be serious about the investigation, and within no time, those culpable of this incident will be held accountable.
Accompanied by Governor Ubasani and heads of security agencies in Kaduna State, the National Security Advisor heads to Tudun Biri village through the bumpy and deplorable road that leads to the rural community on his fact-finding mission. On arrival, the National Security Advisor interfaces with the locals and is briefed by the community leaders. With full knowledge of how the bomb attack occurred, Mr. Ribadu assures the victims that nothing will be swept under the carpet in the course of the investigation.
There are communities and areas hitherto people who are not in any way going farms or attending to simple things like markets. They are beginning to come back gradually, little by little. If you go to Northeast average, we used to have average attacks in the excess of 100 and something a month. Yes, we still have few, but probably less than 20 a month. Like I told you, insecurity, when it comes in, it destroys things, including even your own ability to even fight it. For you to reverse it, for you to go back to the track, and then somehow go back to your normalcy is not something that you can achieve overnight. But I can assure you we are working. We are working, and Nigerians will see the difference continuously. But if you, as media men and journalists, just reflect and look at it yourself, assess by yourself. What was it? Last year, average, you will see a situation of where bandits will get into a village, attack, kill 200, 300 people, 50, this and that. Yes, we cannot say we have totally stopped it, but we have made progress.
Before departing, Governor Sani and the National Security Advisor observed the Jamaat prayers in the community, as well as visit the sites where the victims were buried. Northern Senators Forum, led by Senator Abdul Ningi, were received by the governor shortly after returning from Tudun Biri village. The senators expressed grief over the incident and commended security agencies for the success recorded in the war against terrorism.
We felt really touched about the heavy loss of life. This is really unprecedented. But what do we do as human beings? There are times to live, and there are times to die. We pray to the Almighty Allah for the report of those who lost their lives and for those who are injured. We would like to mention at a forum our profound gratitude to the agencies, the security agencies in particular, for their continuous strength in reaching out to our security needs and requirements. We have no doubt in our mind that we have able and capable security personnel if given the adequate support will do this nation proud. And we have no doubt in our mind they are doing their very best in securing our lives and property. But having said that, when matters of this nature happen the way it happened, it calls for a serious reflection on our engagement between the security agencies and the civil force, and the civil people. It is important to go beyond the rhetorics, making sure this will be the last time this kind of thing will happen in this country. And what do you do in events like this? We must drop all our sentiments, all our emotions, and try to investigate the core reasons as to why what happened. Not with a view to punishing, but with a view in making sure that this thing just doesn't happen. And those who are bound to actually sanction. So that at the end of the day, it will be a pointer to those who are selling with protection of lives and property. They will be very, very steadfast and very cautious in taking whatever action they take, because it is about life. And once you lose life, you lost everything. We are so concerned about the security happenings in northern Nigeria, between the north central, the northeast, and the northwest. And we want to make sure that we partner with you as members of the National Assembly in bringing northern Nigeria and, of course, Nigeria at large. Finally, let me express our gratitude to our friend, a colleague, Basani, for according us this just that to wait for us. I want to thank you very much again for taking care of the medication of those who are injured and for showing leadership. You've been to the community almost 2 times. That's leadership. Thank you very much, all those security agents who are here. Please don't please lose hope. We are with you, we'll be with you. Let's partner together. It is important that we get a better Nigeria when we partner together. And we are pledging the sum of 58 million to the community. Thank you.
The Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, visited Kaduna State in the aftermath of the military drone attack in Tudun Biri village in the Igabi local government area of Kaduna State, which left no fewer than 85 people dead and over 87 others wounded. The Vice President, who was received on arrival at the Nigerian Air Force Base by Governor Obasani and top Kaduna State government officials, visited the victims of the attack at the Barao Diko Teaching Hospital. The Vice President assured that the federal government will thoroughly investigate the cause of the error bombing and sanction those found responsible, announcing that the victims of the attack will be thoroughly and adequately compensated by the federal government.
The caliber of people that have come with me is a testimony to how deeply touched the president was by the tragedy. The Speaker of the House of Representatives is here with me, the Minister of Defense, the National Chairman of our party, and of course the host governor. The President was deeply touched by what happened. I would like to assure the government and people of Kaduna State that the government will take all measures to protect, preserve, and promote the interests of our people. The victims will be taken care of under the canopy of the Polaco initiative. We will commence work by next month, and that community will be to be rebuilt in the northwest sub-region. The government is fully committed towards completely eradicating banditry and armed kidnapping. All measures will be taken to ensure that future occurrences are abated. And most importantly, the government will go to the root of the issue, and if anyone is found culpable, will be punished accordingly.
From the hospital, the Vice President met religious leaders at the Executive Council chamber of Sir Kashim Ibrahim House. Addressing the religious leaders, the Vice President appealed for calm over the affair.
I am here because the President is deeply concerned. He was deeply touched by what happened. As the late delegate rightly said, let's not talk about the numbers. One life lost in cold blood is as gruesome as millions lost in a pogrom. The heart of the President is with the bereaved families. We were at the hospital to sympathize with the victims, and be rest assured that the federal government stands by the community affected and the government and people of Kaduna State on this unfortunate incident. As always, Mr. President, an investigation is being conducted with a view to preventing a reoccurrence of the incident, and we expect a report to be submitted within the shortest possible time. The President approved the commencement of the Polaco initiative by next month. The Polaco initiative is the President's unique response as a non-kinetic solution to the challenges in the Northwest. Beneficiary states are Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara, Katsina, Kaduna, and for the purpose of equity and justice, separately included Niger and Benue states. Actually, our intent was to kick off the program in Sokoto, but in the light of recent developments, the President directed that the Polaco initiative should be kick-started here in Kaduna State. And Tudun Biri will be the first beneficiary of that scheme. We are going to build houses which will complement the efforts of the Right Honorable Speaker, but ours is a complete package as well, including houses, clinics, schools, veterinary clinics, empowerment initiatives, solar energy. It's a complete package of solutions. It's a non-kinetic response to the problems of banditry and kidnapping in the Northwest.
The incident elicited condemnation from local and international watchdogs, all calling for investigations and a standardized review of military procedural activity. And the public hopes that the outcome of the federal government's probe into the incident, as promised by Vice President Kashim Shettima, will be made public and recommendations from it implemented to prevent a repeat of such an unfortunate incident.
Our concern here is to tell the society that we have a legal duty as lawyers, an obligation to ensure that justice is done to the people those who lost their lives are adequately compensated. Their relatives are fairly and adequately compensated, and those who were injured are properly taken care of in the best hospital in the world, if possible. Yet we want to call on federal government of Nigeria to ensure that justice is done to the victims of the incident, and to ensure that an independent, transparent, and impartial inquiry is conducted in the matter. This time around, we're going to follow it up until we ensure justice is done. Additionally, we want to call on the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for immediate suspension of all the men involved, all the military men involved in that operation, because it's clear that there is a professional deficiency in the training given to them, or a negligence. And by law, when you kill somebody negligently or recklessly, you cannot say you did not kill him intentionally. The killing cannot be unintentional. So by law, the killing is intentional, because this is the operation is conducted by a team. There is operators, there was a report, and then they were directed to launch attack. After they identified the images, they launched attack on innocent people. Very painful. After an hour, they still come back and launch attack on the people. So we want to tell the world that this act amounts to genocide, and we'll explore the appropriate provision under the Rome Statute, especially Article 5, will use the international legal machineries to ensure that the perpetrators of this act are brought to book.
This is a man who has so much integrity and a
The chairman of the Senate Committee on Army, Senator Abdulaziz Adua, has described the accidental drone attack that claimed the lives of scores of villagers as an honest mistake and should not warrant the resignation of the Chief of Army Staff. In an exclusive interview with Channels Television, Senator Adua, who instead commended the Chief of Army Staff for his admittance to the mistake, urged that peace be given a chance.
Those calling for his resignation should understand this is not, they shouldn't even talk about it. It's not about resignation. This is a man who has so much integrity and a practical officer whom has been commended even before becoming the Chief of Army Staff. So the talk about him resigning should not even arise. I think the Chief of Army Staff needs to be commended for what he did, for accepting responsibility. You know, mistakes in war happens like this. This is not the first time. You know, even outside there, you see America, United States, Europe, when they go to war, such mistakes happen, such collateral damage happen. So you wouldn't know, especially when you see a group of people, these people move under the cover of darkness in groups. So if you see such a large group, based on the intelligence they got, you know, they thought they were the ones. So I want to advise the government of Kaduna State and other state governments where such religious events take place, you know, to direct such adherents and members of the Muslim community to inform the police of such gatherings, so that once the police are aware, such information will get to the army and other security agencies.
He advised the Kaduna State government to direct the members of the Muslim community to apprise the government of any huge gatherings in the state so that security can be reinforced and avert a recurrence.
A loss of one life is as tragic as loss of many. The latter perhaps a higher dimension of impact because of the greater number of people directly or indirectly affected by such an occurrence. While questions arising from this incident await answers, it's the people of Tudun Biri who bear the brunt of the calamity. For Special Report, I'm Olumide Macaulay.